What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a video. We just got done fishing, came home and ate some lunch, and show you guys Jefferson here. He's getting quite bigger. He's about 10 inches now. He's starting to grow out of this tank, and he's getting a little thicker and taller as well. He's got his all his bait down here. Got a couple new crawdads. Another craw inside there. He's got, I put about 12 leeches in here too, and he's ate all but one. There's one hiding somewhere, but yeah. We are actually gonna be transferring him into a tank that's double this size. It's gonna, I think it's like 3 by 19. So yeah, we're getting ready to move him into a bigger tank. The new filter, new aerators, everything, and I'll show you that tank here in a second. But we had to build, this one came with this stand, so I was lucky for that. But we had to build, I just wanted to build my own stand for the next one instead of going and buying an actual fish tank stand. So I'll go out and show you guys that. We finished it a couple days ago, and I just need to throw a clear coat on it and get the tank cleaned up a little bit more. It's still got some hard water spots from the last person. So let's look at Jefferson. He's yeah, he's been very healthy. We got him back in August of 24, about August 17th of 2024, and it is currently May 16th, and he is 10 inches. He was about 3 inches when we got him, so he has grown quite a bit and he's doing well. But I think he will start to grow a little bit more once we get him in the bigger tank, and hopefully we can add a well, here is the new tank. It's about double the size of the last one, but as you can see, there's a nice water line in here, so I need to get that cleaned off a little bit. But here is the stand. I need to get one more board that I did on this, so we can cover the bottom, so I can have somewhere to set the aerator and whatever else I need to set down there. Probably is a little too tall, but I think we built this about 3 foot tall, just out of 2x4, and whatever these were, like a 1x3 or something. But $19 for all the wood, not too bad, considering most fish tanks or stands are very expensive. So we got to throw a clear coat on here and get this tank cleaned up so we can get him going, get this thing set up downstairs in the area he's gonna be in, and get the new sand and whatever else we're gonna put in there, and then we'll get it filled up with water, get it clear, and get him put in. All right, we got our first coat of clear coat on the top here. I did one of these and this bottom, but you can clearly tell the difference in what has been clear coated and what has not. I think it's gonna look good. I was debating if I should add any, like a lighter stain to it, but I think I like the straight up clear coat. Looks really nice. All right, a couple hours later, we got this tank pretty dang clean. A little bit on the bottom portion, but that's gonna be covered in gravel and sand, and got the clear coat on. I like it. It's a little bit of an upgrade for what we had. I didn't mind this one at all, but like I said, I'm gonna put some, like a bottom layer on there, and then we'll film the whole transfer process. I'm still pretty new to this fish tank thing, but obviously I'm doing something right if he's survived since last August, almost 7 months now, so doing something right. One thing that's kind of been nice is I've never changed the water. When it starts to drop from just evaporation, I refill it with clean water. Other than that, like, the tank stays super clean. The filter, they're pad filters, and I just switch them out when the thing turns red. But yeah, it's been fairly easy to just take care of this fish. And I do really want to get some plants, like aquatic plants, in the next one. One, it'll just look good. Two, kind of help produce oxygen and help with water clarity. And then look into maybe some like other type of fish that he might not eat that could be like bottom cleaners. I think they start with a P, I forget the name, but if you guys have been following along for a while, you know I had a little flathead that we caught out of a creek, and he lasted about 2 months before he just flipped over and died one day, which was unfortunate because I know they're very tough to keep alive in tanks, but I know some people that have them. And so if we ever catch another flathead, I definitely want to try that again, but like a little crappie would be cool too. So just want to kind of take you guys along on this whole fish process, and then once we get him in this tank, I'm gonna start doing like weekly videos trying to feed him different new stuff. Try to taper off from keeping the minnows inside the tank with him at all times. He eats them very well. He eats when he needs to. He doesn't eat like all of them at once. So they last about a week, about 2 dozen minnows. So he'll probably eat anywhere from 3 to 6 a day. But I want to get to the point where I can hand feed him. I have done it, but he only does it when he's been out of food for a couple days, if that. So I want to, do leeches, crawdads, goldfish. So when he starts to get bigger, start feeding him all kinds of things, little shrimps, all that stuff. But it's been a blast having him. My nephews and nieces love coming over and seeing him, so I think the bigger tank will be awesome. I think, yeah, we're gonna have to move this bass up or in a different place because it's gonna sit probably about right here, the new tank. So all right guys, well, I finally bought everything I absolutely needed. We got 55 pounds of sand. This is what I used in the other tank. This is like a aquarium substrate, but it's already like rinsed and washed and all that, so it helps. I had to rinse this one already, and I kind of just started putting it in. I bought a separate bag last night that wasn't the same, and then I found this stuff today. So I'm gonna try to start putting sand in, and then I want to make sure I have enough before I start putting water in, and I'll hold that whole process. So we are gonna break this sucker open and start pouring more sand in. And then we got some plants. They're bulbs. They'll just start growing on their own. I thought that would be a little bit easier than buying the expensive ones that they already have. That way, if they don't grow, they don't grow, instead of killing an already alive plant. And then we bought some fake ones too, just to have something in there. It was pretty cheap for a nice little variety pack. And then something I didn't do in the last one, these are airline holders, so all the aerator hoses aren't just hanging around. We can line them up and down. So start pouring more sand in. Actually, that covered way more than I thought it was going to. Alright guys, it is finally time to transfer over Jefferson the bass. We got this lid, mesh lid thing put on last night. We finally got a filter after one being completely wrong for this tank and the second one being defective. We returned both of those and got a new one. Not exactly the style I was originally going for, but so far I really like it. This was completely cloudy from the new sand, and within 10 minutes it was crystal clean. So I do have like 8 green sunfish in there at the moment. Went fishing yesterday and just didn't want to release them, so we tossed them in here for now. But once we get the bass put in, I will take them out and get them in a bucket, and because I'm going to be going fishing with those tomorrow. But they've been in here. The water's been in here for over 48 hours. The filter has been in here for probably 12, and these sunfish have been in here for about 24 hours. So, and then the light, I got to work on a different. It's on a 24-hour timer, so it adjusts with the daylight and everything. I got to work on the mount. It just doesn't want to. It like where the screws are way too high to tighten it. So I gotta figure something out on that, because it's wanting to creep off of the edge and try to go up on here. But we got a hole in the middle that we cut. We have a hole for the cords and the aerators. But for now, this light will just sit on top. But we're ready to grab the bass and get him transferred into the new tank. Alright, we successfully got all the green sunfish out. A little bit harder than I thought it was going to be, but we are ready to get the bass. Alright, there we go. There's Jefferson. 10 inches, 0.75 pounds. Guy is a tank. Let's get him in here. There's your new home, buddy. A lot bigger. And then we gotta come up with a name for the big green sunfish. Don't have a name for him yet. But there we go. The new tank is finished. A lot more room for them. And we can't forget about Mr. Crawdad. I forgot he was even in there still. Well guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the whole tank transformation video. I'm extremely impressed with how this one turned out. I love the plants in it. The last one didn't have any and it was just pretty bare, but I love the black sand. It's kind of got like a sparkle to it, and the light makes a huge difference. I didn't have a light on the last one. It came with one, but the bulb, I couldn't find a bulb replacement for it, so. I think I'm super excited with this one, and we're gonna be doing possibly do like Tank Tuesday. Every Tuesday do something along the lines with the tank, or feeding Jefferson different types of baits. And to start that, I'm gonna have to not put the bait in the tank anymore like I have been doing. These red shiners look so cool in this light though. I've always just kind of dumped 2 dozen minnows in there and he eats as he pleases, but when doing that, it kind of creates the point where he won't eat from my fingers anymore. Over time, it just kind of slowed down, but because before he would. So if we want to start feeding him as he grows bigger, we're gonna have to change that. Yep, hopefully he does all right in the new tank, and hopefully the plants. This one I bought a full plant. Those ones are bulbs. They're supposed to grow. We'll see. I don't really know too much about plants. If you know how I can continue to grow plants, I got live plants in here, please let me know. And what plants are do and I don't. So.